Now he's up at about 2,500 to 3,000 feet. He can get up to some pretty great altitudes, but he can get up to some pretty high speeds as well in this little airplane.
All right, he'll be coming down at about 300 knots, which is about 365 miles an hour. He'll be pulling up for a vertical roll at the end there.
Very quiet airplane. A jet engine that turns a propeller. They call it a turboprop.
That's correct.
Who made it?
Brett Whitney.
One of the great aviation engine manufacturers of all time. Now, as he comes down, he'll come down the 45. I bet you he's going to roll the airplane upright, isn't he?
He should be.
2 points of a 4-point hesitation roll. That's a 1/2 Cuban 8. What's coming up next, John?
He'll come up and reposition with a 1/2 Cuban 8 and then come back around for a loop with a roll at the top.
Now, the T-6 Texan II, when it won the competition, they had the T-6A, and that's been around for a while, and then they had the B. What's the difference between the A and the B and now this C?
Well, the A model had glass cockpit, but it simulated the old rail dial gauges, which were what used throughout the Air Force at the time, 12 years back. The Navy went to a glass cockpit training mentality, so we mirrored that and put a heads-up display and a full new avionics suite. The C takes advantage of the heads-up display and adds weapons training capability with 6 hard points under the wing.
Gotcha. Kirby Chambliss going by. Give him a wave, everybody. All right, so his game show comes up over the top. He's flying the T-6C. Now, with weapons training carrying capability, if it can carry weapons, it can also possibly be used as maybe even a light attack aircraft. Would that be correct?
That is correct, and we do have 2 aircraft right now that we're doing testing on. We've done some fairly impressive deliveries. We basically took the T-6, which is a very rugged trainer, built to last 50 years. Flight use from a student who did kind of not real nice to it, and then put the best weapons controller on the planet from the A-10 inside the aircraft, and we're getting some accuracy measured in inches instead of feet.
So the A-10 Thunderbolt II's fire control system that controls that GAU-8 Avenger cannon is the same one you're using in this? Because that's one of the most potent airplanes in the world today.
That's correct, in our AT-6.
In your AT-6, which is not the same AT-6 from 1938 to 1945. This AT-6, not advanced trainer, but this one, attack T-6. Coming up next, let's watch the 4-point roll. Now, what's unique about this, John?
Well, notice as the smoke goes by, he didn't lift his nose in, he just tracked the airplane. He's keeping it straight as an arrow because the plane's inherently very stable.
So if you want to turn it into do spin training in it, how do you get it unstable to do the spins? How do you unlock the airplane?
Release the controls, that's one thing you can do.
Well, to get it in a spin or get it out? To get it in a spin. What do you have to do to get it in a spin?
You got to be in a stall and stick a full boot of rudder.
Okay, but then to get it out, there are earlier Air Force trainers that took now that's the tough one right there, folks. This is called a slow roll. There are aerobatic people in our country who fly aerobatics for a living who say if you can do a slow roll well, you can do any aerobatics well, and that was flawless. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for Mike Rambo, call sign Game Show, flying the AT-6. I should say the T-6C, or what is it?
The Texan II.
The Texan II. We'll go with that. What's coming?
Coming in inverted, and then that's not such a big deal, but he's going to roll over and continue on inverted. Right, it takes a good bit of coordination right here. Notice again, no nose track, straight as an arrow right across the field.
That's awesome. Now, going upside down in this Texan, I know another guy who flies the original Texan, the World War II trainer, the pilot maker, who does an inverted to inverted roll, but he doesn't stay there very long because it's really kind of limited to the amount of time it can spend upside down. What about this airplane?
This one's designed for 60 seconds inverted flight.
Upside down for a whole minute. Yep. Not comfortable, but very, I suppose, utilitarian.
And minus 3.5 G's if you wanted it.
Really? and positive 7 Gs. Now this is another one that's so hard to do. And again, that smoke track is a telltale going into knife edge flight where the wings don't develop any lift. So that's all the job of Mike Rambo to make sure it maintains altitude all the way through that.
That's correct.
That's a lot of skill.
Yeah, if you're coming back one more time, as you notice, he's got the canopy on the top and all of you are on the bottom, so he's going to come over upside down and make a wave at the crowd for his final pass.
All right, everybody, make a wave to Mike Game Show Rambo in the Texan II from Beechcraft. I wave back. That's cool. He obviously saw just you and me waving at him. Probably. Yeah. Boy, that's great. The T-6 Texan II, brought to you by your United States Air Force and the United States Navy. And you can check. You guys are on Facebook. Are you on Facebook too?
I think Game Show's on Facebook.
Is he? Where did we go to get him? Texan Demo? Is that it?
Texan, the number 2 demo.
Texan
2 demo.
numeral 2 demo.